Ladies and gentlemen, may we have your attention, please? We ask that you familiarize yourselves with the nearest mark exits as a cautionary procedure prior to our commencement ceremony today. In the event of an actual emergency, please remain calm, and public safety and security officials will direct you to specific locations where detailed instructions will be provided for you as needed. Thank you for your cooperation.
Friends and family, is this working? Is this working? All right. Friends and family, thank you so much for being here today. I speak on behalf of our class when I thank you, as we could not be here today without your love, generosity, sacrifice, and unwavering support. What is best in us, we owe to you.
In total, we are over 850 students representing over 60 countries. We have been former bankers, consultants, engineers, doctors, lawyers, entrepreneurs, veterans, nonprofit workers, musicians, and athletes. But today, we stand together as one, the Wharton School Class of 2016. Ladies and gentlemen, it is our pleasure to introduce to you the Wharton MBA Class of 2016.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will now be joined by members of the Wharton community who have inspired us inside the classroom and out. It is my honor. It is my honor to welcome the beloved alumni and faculty to our graduation ceremony. Please join me in welcoming them.
Afternoon, and please be seated. Everybody sit down. Dean Garrett, board members, faculty, staff, graduates, families, friends, and alumni. Welcome to the Wharton School MBA Class of 2016 graduation. Let's hear it for the amazing class. To begin our ceremony, it is my pleasure to introduce Zachary Kahn, the 2015-16 Wharton Graduate Association President. Over the past year, Zach has led the WGA efforts to promote financial transparency and efficiency of student club spending, and has fostered initiatives to support an environment of greater inclusion in our Wharton community. Please join me in welcoming Zach to the podium.
I didn't realize I accomplished all those things, but I'll take it. Good afternoon, everyone. Family, friends, loved ones. As we like to say in these parts, welcome to Wharton. My fellow class of 2016, congratulations. Students, please join me in thanking those in the audience. Without their support and guidance, we would not have made it this far. Today is indeed a momentous day. For our families, your Wharton grads are finally being returned back to you. Gone are the days of unresponsiveness to your text messages and emails because we were trekking in Antarctica or on the beach in Miami. For us students, we now have no excuse to ignore our parents' phone calls. Sorry, Mom. Our graduation from Wharton is a huge accomplishment for us all. For me, I came to Wharton from a winding and somewhat non-traditional career. I had no idea what to expect here. Coming to Wharton, my goals were to meet smart, committed students who would share with me their diverse backgrounds and experiences. I also wanted to figure out what to do with my life. Today, I move on from Wharton with my expectations thoroughly exceeded. Do you remember how you felt upon arriving to preterm? We were bright-eyed, excited, nervous, and unsure of what was in store. We constantly reminded ourselves and each other just how special it was for us to have been accepted to this wonderful place. As time went on, it was easy to forget those feelings. I am guilty of that myself. But as I reflect back on my time here, I begin to remember the appreciation I have for being at Wharton. I encourage you all to do the same. Try your best to remember those early feelings. Hold on to that realization of the privilege and opportunity you received by coming to Wharton. Ask yourselves, where would you be today without this place? Would you have that job? Would you have those friends? Would you have that confidence? As we all move forward together and out of the Wharton bubble and back into the real world, let's not forget how this place changed us, helped us build everlasting relationships, and set us up on a greater path to success in life. Together, if we harness these feelings, we as Wharton grads will do great things, not only as individuals, but as a community all over the world. We are armed with the tools, the brand, and the network to make a difference. We often tell those outside of Wharton that what makes this place so amazing is the people we have met along the way. We have laughed together, studied together, interviewed together, traveled together, and traveled together some more. We have shaped each other into the smartest, most competent, and best connected version of ourselves that we have ever been. We have never been better suited for the professional and personal challenges we will soon face after leaving Wharton. I, like all of us, am extremely fortunate for these past 2 years at Wharton. And although these days will soon be a distant memory, our fortune is something that we should never take for granted. Thank you, Wharton, and congratulations. On behalf of the class of 2016, it is my privilege to introduce the Dean of the Wharton School, Geoffrey Garrett.
Zach finished too quickly. I have to finish my tweet before I finish. It says just about to speak. You can tell this was real time. Sent. Welcome. Welcome faculty and staff, parents and partners, friends and family. We're so glad to have you all here for what ultimately is a day of love and celebration. We're all here to celebrate the incredible accomplishments of the Wharton MBA class of 2016. Since I had no idea what I should speak about today at this ceremony, we asked a few of you, and apparently because some of you have been in my office and because you're nice to me, you wanted me to talk about classic rock. I'm thinking that music for me began in about 1965. That was an incredible year. How about the Stones' Satisfaction, Who's My Generation, Beatles Yesterday, and Dylan's Like a Rolling Stone in 1 year? That was a good year. And then, of course, for me, unfortunately, music ended in about 1980, which is why my daughter said to me the other day that she had no idea there was an Elvis who wasn't Elvis Costello until a few weeks ago. But you are humoring me. What you really wanted to talk about is, well, it's Wharton after all, so it's the numbers, and not the obscure, underappreciated British R&B band from the 1960s, but about your class. So the first number that comes to mind about your class is 350. Does anyone know what that is? That's the number of you who participated in Never Miss a Beat and Shake It Till You Make It. This class can dance. I can't. I wish I could too. That's a Stevie Wonder reference for my favorite Stevie Wonder song. The next number is 144, 12 by 12, the number of big ideas you generated in the Big Ideas Tournament. Congratulations again to the winner, Team Sage Advice from Cohort L. And on the academic front, here's an interesting number, 18. It's actually 18%. The number of flex core classes you completed in your second year. Almost double the number from only 3 years before. You clearly learnt, to paraphrase Winston Churchill, never before have so many taken so long to declare so many majors. And finally, 100%, that's the number of you and of us positively affected in a very short time, I might add, by the work of the Return on Equality Coalition, adding the expression ROE to the ROI of the Wharton School. Whoever you are, whatever your leadership style, you've learned to tap into what's true in you, because that's what's true about you, what makes you best, even and especially in ways that aren't so readily seen by others, maybe even not seen by yourselves. Adding up all the numbers, active social life, relentless creativity, the highest academic performance, social responsibility, and you get another song from 1965, 8 days a week, Lennon-McCartney. 24/7 is a cliche. Let's have a new cliche for you, 24/8. You're an amazing class of men and women, and we all congratulate you. As extraordinary as our students are, everyone up higher in the palestra knows, should know, that we know and the students know that they couldn't have done it without all of you, an equally amazing support network. Think about your incredible sacrifices, time, resources, energy, and above all, love that you've given to support these students. So I think everyone down here needs to support and thank all of you. So here we are together on one of the great days of your lives, looking back on what you've achieved with so much pride, looking forward to what's ahead with incredible excitement. You've got the power of Wharton behind you. You've got fantastic training, incredible classmates, an unrivaled network, you can, you want to, and you will change the world. But making meaningful change that is not only meaningful in the world, but meaningful to you, isn't going to be easy. No matter how laudable they are, your loftiest goals will always be challenged, every step of the way. How will you hold on to the sense of infinite possibility that you feel right now when you're faced with the inevitabilities in life, uncertainty, expediency? How will you deal with circumstances in the years ahead that you literally can't imagine today? Let me start that part of my remarks with a question to you. How many of you think you know what you'll be doing when you're my age? You're polite, so you're not saying to each other, retired long ago. And at least it's not, I hope I die before I get old. That's a my generation reference. Actually, it's not going to be true for you, and not only because of your life expectancy. Lives are long, but lives also change. Let me tell you what I thought I'd be doing today. Certainly not this. It's an incredible honor and privilege for me to be Dean of the Wharton School, but I can tell you it's literally beyond my wildest dreams. We often ask of you, what's your life plan? 5 years from now, 10 years from now. And after the fact, we tend to look back and be able to tie a neat bow around our lives and say it all made sense. Well, I can tell you it just didn't happen that way for me. The most important event in my professional life was coming to the United States to do a PhD. It literally transformed my life, but I can tell you I had literally no idea at the time that that would be true. Why did I come? I came because I got a free ride, and that's an Edgar Winter 1972 song. I thought it was a pretty good deal. I had no burning ambition at the time. I had no career plan. In fact, I was a bit dazed and confused. Yeah, that's Led Zeppelin. There was a pretty good movie too, but I think the song was better. In fact, the movie was named after the song. You know, I knew I wanted to live in America, but I assumed I'd end up back in Australia, where I was born, where my parents lived all their lives, where my siblings and most of my friends still live to this day. But then something amazing happened to me. I fell in love. And this was actually before I fell in love with my wife. I fell in love with social science. That's really how it felt for me. I learned to apply statistics and game theory to the study of politics. And that changed my life forever. But 2 years before, I had no idea about that. So I worked hard. I had some success. I started to rise in the ranks a little bit in universities, not only that I couldn't have dreamed of, but I just didn't know anything about, including this great university. And for me, it was just an extraordinary moment to realize 5 years after I wasn't good enough, nearly good enough to be a Rhodes Scholar from Australia, I was teaching Rhodes Scholars at Oxford. That's the power of American higher education, and it's one that not only changed my lives, but I think changed the lives of all the people in this room. But for the first time in my life, it meant I had a real direction. I had real passion too, and I started to have a little bit of influence. The question was, what was I going to do with that? And about 15 years ago, I realized the answer for me was more than I was doing as a professor. I was in New Haven at the time, and I told one of my friends, I'm leaving. He said to me, okay, I'll see you tomorrow. I said, no, I'm leaving Yale to wear a suit to become a full-time university administrator. And he looked at me shocked, and I'll never forget this. He said to me, but Jeff, you're too smart to do that. Now, that was supposed to be a compliment, as I think my faculty colleagues know. Don't get me wrong, research and teaching are incredibly rewarding, and I have enormous respect for my faculty colleagues on the stage, but they know administration can be a chore. That's why we tend to take turns doing it. Why did I choose to do this, do it voluntarily and full time? The answer was really within me. I had got every chance in my life from being in higher education, and I wanted to do anything I could to help others experience and realize the opportunities that I had had myself. Like all of you, I had really big aspirations. And I was ambitious enough, and in fact naive enough, to think I could make things better in a very different university than this one. A big public university, UCLA, let's call that California Dreamin', Mamas and the Papas, 1966. It certainly seemed like a really good idea at the time. After all, I had lots of experience. But in fact, I was completely unprepared for the challenge. Within about 18 months in the job, I actually had to do something that mattered. But it wasn't a positive thing, it was a negative thing. I had to manage some budget cuts. Millions of dollars in cuts immediately, program closures, staff redundancies, things that were going to affect people's lives. How did I respond? I responded with what I knew best, which was some combination of management theory and statistics. So the theory said, avoid across-the-board cuts, reward excellence, penalize poor performance. And the social science told me, go with data-driven decisions, not intuition. So I came up with the perfect algorithm for the cuts. I knew it was perfect, by the way, because I spent lots of hours in my office alone working on the Excel spreadsheet. The big day finally came. I had to present my grand plan, maybe 40 people in the room, professors, senior administrators running degree programs and research centers. Real insiders, they were reporting to me. I was the youngest person in the room. I felt good about that. But I realized I'd been in Westwood for 18 months and there was probably 600 years of UCLA experience in the room. When I finished my presentation, half the people in the room were relieved. I'd sheltered them from the worst of the cuts, but the other half were shell-shocked. They'd just been told that they were going to get more than their fair share of the cuts. What I thought were rational, strategic, even courageous cuts were received by them as unthinking, insensitive, draconian, even inhumane. I asked my chief of staff at the time, how did it go? She told me shock and awe. That was the term used to describe the Baghdad bombing in 2003, and I thought it was a compliment. Boy, was I wrong. At the end of the day, there was a lot of blood on the floor. Most of the blood was mine. The cuts had made sense. To this day, I believe it, but how I went about it was completely wrong. Instead of communing with Excel and patting myself on the back for my analytic smarts, I should have been walking the floors, talking with people who were worried about their lives. I should have expressed the real agonies that were inside me. I knew the decisions I was going to make were going to affect people's lives. I should have been bringing people together to make tough decisions. Like every leadership challenge we face, managing the cuts required not only IQ but EQ. That's a cliche, but it's true, and I'd blown it. It was a transformative moment for me. I realized that to change things in the external world, I had to start the change within me. There's a self-confidence that tends to come from being good at something. That's why we repeat it. But it can also isolate you, make you less available to others, a little bit less human, and ultimately that makes you less able to lead, less able to realize your aspirations. Wharton's a very analytical place, and we all celebrate that. You all have big aspirations. That's why you came here. But the older I get, the more I know the either-or world of rigorous logic isn't how it really works. The real world works on both and. It's about collaboration. Ideas without execution aren't worth very much. Ideas can be dreamt up alone. Execution requires the efforts of lots of people. So, reach for the stars always, but think about others. Ambition and humility, analysis and empathy. That's what leadership is about, I think. That's what leading meaningful and fulfilling lives is about. If you want to go fast, you go alone. If you want to go far, you go together. I know you'll do great things, but I also know you'll do really good things. You have my deepest admiration and my greatest respect. Congratulations on a job incredibly well done. Bon voyage to amazing tomorrows, and welcome to the ranks of Wharton alumni.
Thank you very much, Dean. It is my pleasure to now introduce Ruth M. Porat, Chief Financial Officer, Alphabet Inc. and Google Inc. Ruth joined Alphabet as Senior Vice President and Chief Financial Officer in May of 2015. Prior to joining Alphabet, Ruth was Executive Vice President and Chief Financial Officer of Morgan Stanley. She held several roles in her career at Morgan Stanley, including Vice Chairman of Investment Banking and Global Head of the Financial Institutions Group. Ruth is Vice Chair of Stanford University's Board of Trustees and serves on Stanford's Council of the School of Humanities and Sciences. She is a member of the Board of Trustees of the Economic Club of New York and a member of the Board of Directors of the Council on Foreign Relations. She is also a member of the Advisory Council of the Hutchins Center on Fiscal and Monetary Policy. Ruth earned her bachelor's degree from Stanford University, an MBA from the Wharton School, and a master's degree from London School of Economics. Ruth, we are honored to welcome you back and to have you share this special day with our class of 2016 and the Wharton community. Please welcome Ruth Porat.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And to Dean Garrett, members of the board, esteemed faculty, friends, parents, and most of all, class of 2016, congratulations. It is a real honor to be here today to celebrate this important day with you. Soon, you will walk away alumni and fine representatives of this extraordinary institution and part of a company of distinguished members of society, legendary leaders in technology, media, government, finance, real estate, and, well, of course, the Donald. There's not been much nuance during the campaign, so I won't engage in this graduate, undergraduate school analysis, but great to be here. And getting here was a tremendous accomplishment. There are many people who believed in you and are a part of your team. Parents, partners, wives, husbands, boyfriends, girlfriends, children, friends, and professors. And contrary to how you likely conducted yourself during your academic career, my first free piece of advice today is to become a little more focused on your family and loved ones, a little less about you, a little more determined to stop and smell the roses. And you really should, by the way, because it all really does go by in the blink of an eye. And trust me, that much I have learned. I remember sitting where you all are now. It was a long time ago. If you can actually even imagine the days before cell phones, electric cars, driverless cars, Game of Thrones, flat screen TVs, almond milk and quinoa, ISIS, the Kardashians, and yes, even Google. I was 27, and although I thought I knew everything about everything, it turned out the opposite was true. But it worked out for me so far, at least. 2 jobs, Morgan Stanley and Google, 1 great husband, and 3 extraordinary kids. And I've learned a bit along the way, so let me try and give you some pointers. And one day you'll see if they make any sense. I've taken thousands of speed bumps, too many blunders to recall, and a couple of accomplishments, and distilled them down to 3 points for you to consider. First, everything starts with listening. My mom told me this, and moms are always right. One thing never to forget. Listen, because that's how you learn. Listen, because that's how you grow. At any point, at any stage, it's important to listen. Throughout my career, I've had the opportunity to work with great leaders. Steve Jobs, Jeff Immelt, Hank Paulson, Larry Page, and they were all thirsty for knowledge and driven by their curiosity. They challenged themselves with the opinions of others and were stronger as a result. And the listening lesson extends to building your team to include a diverse set of experiences and views, rich with gender, race, socioeconomic background, and sexual orientation. Diversity is not just the right thing to do, it is better for business. It leads to richer debate and smarter insights. Grow the debate expand the viewpoints, listen to every voice in the room. But even more than that, respect the debate, respect the viewpoints, and respect every voice in the room. Success is a team sport. Don't marginalize your teammates. As an aside, 30 years ago when I was here, I wrote some articles for the Wharton Journal. And some of your classmates were kind enough to, a couple weeks ago, to send me an article I wrote in which I reported on some women who were recruiting to various Wall Street firms and who announced at Wharton in 1987 that they expected to see significant numbers of women in leadership on Wall Street within the, and I quote here, next few years. Fortunately, it was my last foray into forward-looking guidance. Which brings me back to my mom's advice. My mom was a character. She shunned all traditional roles and was a terrible cook, which is something she did bequeath to me. But she was a great mom and sent me off with the message that I should be whatever I wanted to be, so long as I could honestly succeed at it. But of relevance here today was her lesson about listening. She told me that if I wanted to impress a man with my intelligence, I should ask him about himself. He would speak for 20 minutes and think we had a great conversation. I assure you, that does work. But in the parlance of the day, some would say that is playing the woman card, but I will tell you it works for men as well, and I encourage you all to try it. You learn more by asking and listening than speaking. It's a sign of strength, not weakness. You know this already. People who do all the talking, who talk over people, they're not the people who are going to be running organizations in 20 years. Second, build for long-term success rather than short-term wins. Ask yourself, what is your true north? Those very core principles you hold dearest, for which you should fight and resist compromise. Holding to your true north enables one to build the best organizations for the long term. I saw this in action for the first time early in my career when I was assigned as a young associate at Morgan Stanley to work on an epic hostile takeover defense, the defense of the Gillette Company. Gillette's CEO said we should mount whatever defense was necessary, but the one thing we could not do was touch his research budget. It was a large budget, and he wouldn't tell us why we couldn't cut it, but he was resolute. Without the products he was planning, he believed fervently that it would not be worth keeping Gillette alive. So we came up with an alternate approach and kept Gillette independent without touching that research budget. And only years later did we learn that the thing he defended so vigorously was the sensor razor. He was right. He protected the future, a product that kept Gillette going through today. A short-term win is just that. It's a Pyrrhic victory that may feel great for a moment, but does not enable greatness. Whether you're going off to be an investor or analyst, or trying to pick the right company to join, look for leaders who have their true north, ones who focus on long-term requirements to build durable, great organizations. They're the ones to back, rather than those who follow the fashion of the day. Our markets report on a quarterly basis, but that does not mean our leaders must lead based on quarterly strategies. You're endowed with an extraordinary education. Use it to build great companies with great cultures for the long term. A corollary to this guiding philosophy at Google is that incrementalism leads to irrelevance. Larry Page wisely cautioned against incrementalism in one of his annual founders' letters to shareholders. Recognize that killing a weak idea is valuable. If you continue to plow ahead in something that is just okay, you will miss the opportunity to do something that is great. And as you will find years later, you have lived a life of incrementalism or built a business of incrementalism. And of course, time does not stand still, and you will have sold short your company, your career, or yourself. Third, tough times and disappointments are inevitable, so get ready to deal with them. If you put yourself out there, you take some risk and try to accomplish something, there will be bumps and even craters along the way. View these challenges as problems to be solved and times to excel. You've learned a lot in your class about leadership. and this is where that fits in. Good leaders are rare. Great leaders, nearly impossible to find. The traits of real leaders are those who empower the team, who make each one of us better as a result, who stretch us to be our best, who provide air cover when we need it so we can grow, or air cover when we fall and need to be picked up. Often, leaders are discovered in tougher times, and every day won't be a good one, or a fun one, or one that makes you proud. One CEO I admire greatly once said to me that leadership is loyalty in times of adversity. It is in times of adversity that you need to motivate the team, that you can provide clarity in a fog. And I have seen far too many crises for comfort, and those really are the times to distinguish yourself. When I was sitting in your seat, I was thrilled to be joining Morgan Stanley for what I viewed as the most exciting role at the most exciting time. I started at the firm in August of 1987, and as you historians of stock market crashes know, that was 7 weeks prior to the biggest stock market percentage decline in the history of Wall Street, bigger than the crash in 2008 in percentage terms. And I thought my career might have a quick and not very notable end. But in a few months, it was clear that this so-called crash was merely a blip in a long trend. Adversity followed by creativity can lead to new opportunities. And if you aren't rigid and you find great leaders with whom to work, you can find a path forward. Lucky for me, right after that crash and the collapse of the M&A markets, I was asked to help build a small new business, pitching ideas to people who now have the fancy title of private equity investors. The opportunity was a complete flyer for the firm and me, but it worked, obviously, and I ended up eventually running the group after a few years. By making moves, by taking on new roles, especially in tougher times, you can differentiate yourself. It shows you're agile and flexible, enables you to make an impact when needed. The most meaningful role I played while a banker was being lead advisor to the US Treasury during the financial crisis, a role that almost did not happen. Treasury Secretary Paulson asked Morgan Stanley to advise the Treasury on the exploding US housing crisis. At the time, I ran the global financial institutions banking business, and our CEO asked the senior leadership of the firm if we should take on the assignment. And almost everyone was against it because we would have to walk away from potential fees from Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, and we wouldn't be paid by the US Treasury. I insisted we take on the assignment because my view was there are certain times in history when there is only one right answer. And fortunately, John Mack overruled those who objected, and we took on the assignment. It was personally the most rewarding work I ever did, to use skills developed over decades to help during an insane crisis and to create and implement an actual solution that worked. Pushing back on the prevailing view not to take on the role was the big standing on a soapbox moment of my career. I'm still surprised I did it and glad. You will be confronted in your career with tough times when you need to cut through the easy answers and help lead. Always step up and do the right thing. Operate with the utmost integrity in all that you do. It sounds trite and obvious, but it really does separate the A players from everyone else in the business. Morgan Stanley's maxim was first-class business, and that in a first-class way. Parker Gilbert, the chairman when I arrived at Morgan Stanley, schooled us on what that meant on our first day of training, and I never forgot it. It's a rule you cannot ever overlook, and if one does, you shouldn't be working with that person. It is, in many ways, consistent with Larry and Sergey's first principle, don't be evil. Bad things will also happen outside of your career, in your personal lives. And I think you deal with those in the same way, analytically, honestly, and quickly, like the way you've been taught in many case studies. I was lucky enough to nail the biggest one that I faced to date when I was diagnosed with breast cancer, first in 2001, and then again a couple of years later. The first time was terrifying. Our 3 little boys were little, 5, 7, and 9. My husband and I broke the news to the kids over breakfast, telling them I was sick, I would take some very strong medicine, I would become bald, and then I would get better. And without missing a beat, my middle son, who was 7 at the time, asked if he could get a big black felt pen, draw a line on my head, and call me a butthead. When I was diagnosed again 2 years later, I was completely terrified, but thanks to the incredible doctors at Memorial Sloan Kettering who went for more surgery, more chemo, and radiation, I'm fine. That ghastly... That ghastly, terrifying experience was also a gift, because that proverbial question became all too real. What happens if you're given no more than 5 years to live? So I set about trying to figure it out. What did I want to do with what could be a limited amount of time? And I realized I simply had no regrets. I hadn't punted on my life. I hadn't put things on hold. My lesson from that awful experience was, if you want to do something, do it. The worst that can happen is that it won't work, or it won't work out that well. I've seen too many people in my career think there is some natural progression to life with certain career milestones preceding whatever you may want to do in your personal life. But unfortunately, life doesn't know it's supposed to follow a schedule. Don't save that part of your journey until you have accomplished a bunch of stuff professionally. It may not be easy to do everything in your life now while building your career, but I assure you that it makes you a better you. No one is stopping you, whether that's starting a business or starting a family. Don't put it off if it's what you want to do. Simply put, in my view, you in fact can and should have it all. So let me sum up so you can get on to the very important matter of getting out of here and getting on with paying off your student loans. Great things are in store for you. You will experience love and adventure and success and wonder. And when those things happen, hold them all tight. And recognize that you will hit bumps, craters, and debacles along the way. And when that happens, embrace them. Analyze them honestly and fix them as completely and as quickly as you can. Be an extraordinary listener and questioner. Never stop questioning and never stop listening. Make sure you hear all voices. Don't limit your view to the familiar. Diversity of views makes us each stronger and makes our organizations better and sharper. And finally, stick to your true north. Build greatness for the long term. Thank you for having me. Have fun out there.
Thank you so much, Ruth. Thank you. The class of 2016 student address this afternoon will be given by Tola Sunmonu, a Nigerian national. Wow, you can. A Nigerian national, Tola shared with me that some of her fondest memories have been made as a member of the Wharton Africa Student Association community. As a first-year member and leader of the student group this year, the experience has allowed her to build bonds with this phenomenal group of people who all share a love for Africa, and expose Tola to powerful lessons on leadership and teamwork. Post-Wharton, she will be moving back to Nigeria to work for McKinsey. Please join me in welcoming Tola.
Good afternoon. My name is Tola Sunmonu, and I am so honored to be here today. I would like to take a moment to thank my parents for all the hard work they've put in over the years. to ensure that their Nigerian daughter would have access to an institution as prestigious as Wharton. Mom and Dad, there is no way I can pay you back, but the plan is to show you that I understand. Let us all take a moment to appreciate our friends, family, and faculty who all got us here. Over the past few days, our Facebook timelines have been flooded with pictures of our peers leaping in front of Huntsman Hall. Below each picture are nostalgic odes to the wonderful times we have had at Wharton. If my picture were to appear on your timeline, I would be soaring in the air with reckless abandon, hands held high above my head, legs kicked back to reveal a wide grin across my face. Unfortunately, I never got the memo, so I never took this iconic picture. The picture I did take was from the first day of school. In this picture, I am also standing in front of Huntsman Hall, but I am far from leaping. In fact, I am standing rigid, my feet firmly anchored into the ground like the deep roots of a tree, and my arms pressed tightly to my sides as though to prevent my body from swaying. Every fiber in my body was apprehensive about being in this new environment. The contrast between these two images has forced me to reflect on my Wharton experience. How does one go from being planted firmly in the ground, afraid to leave their comfort zone, to soaring in the air with their hands held high? For me, the reason for this joyous leap is not because of the typical business school experiences, such as travel and parties. I did a lot of that, but rather, it is because Wharton has given me the space to be vulnerable. This vulnerability has come in many forms, from being pushed outside of my professional comfort zone when my peers gave me the opportunity to lead the Wharton Africa Student Association, to being emotionally vulnerable when I bared my soul in forums like P3. Even right now, I feel extremely vulnerable being on this stage, speaking in front of you all. As I reflect on these experiences, the irony is that I am leaving Wharton feeling immensely empowered only because I have had the opportunity to be weak. Now, I know that vulnerability is not something that many of us associate with business school, but class of 2016, every time you made a decision to step outside of your comfort zone, whether it was hiking in Antarctica, performing at dance studio, or putting your hand up to answer that one question in that one class, you made yourself vulnerable. You took that initial palatable fear, harnessed it, and turned it into an accomplishment. Over the past few weeks, I have been struggling to articulate the power of vulnerability. You see, why does something that feels so immensely uncomfortable become a source of power? The best way I can articulate this is in one word: freedom. I think about my experience teaching an Afro-Caribbean dance routine at dance studio. In the weeks leading up to rehearsal, I felt sick to my stomach. You see, I love to dance, but the thought of teaching 30 of my Wharton peers a dance routine over 10 weeks was literally petrifying. I mean, these are Wharton MBA students, and they expect nothing but the best. I became so daunted that I thought about backing out. However, I leaped. As a result, my vulnerability made me more self-aware. I acknowledged all of my weaknesses as well as my strengths. I now realize that the fear of confronting these weaknesses was holding me hostage. But now I know that there is freedom that comes from self-awareness, from allowing yourself to drink from the cup of your imperfections and eat from the well of your insecurities. Class of 2016, As we move into the next phase of our lives with this degree in hand, we have an obligation to lead, to innovate, and to impact. But to do so, we must be willing to be vulnerable, to be uncomfortable. My worry is that once we step out of this 2-year experience, we will return to the real world where Kembrel is not constantly telling us to take stretch experiences. When we are in this world and we are tempted to stand in our comfort zones, rigid, comfortable, planted, leap. Leap with reckless abandon. I cannot guarantee you how you will land, but I guarantee you that you will be better for it. I think about our classmate, Brian Rakuda, who on April 2nd, with no prior experience, stepped into a boxing ring in this very auditorium. On that night, months of pushing his body and his mind to their limits came to a head. We roared as he swung his arms, and we held our breath as his legs gave in. Finally, the bell rang, and just like that, Brian Rakuda lost the fight. Love you, Brian. Weeks later, I asked him how it felt to lose. He said, I was embarrassed, I was disappointed, but I'm going to box again. He said, I learned so much during that process, and I want to box again so I can put what I have learned into practice. Class of 2016, when we step through those doors, there will be times that we do not want to be vulnerable, when we would rather just do the easy thing. There will be times when we will be tempted to stand how I was on the first day of school, feet anchored, arms planted. But in those moments, let us push ourselves to leap in the air with our hands held high and our legs kicked back. While we will not see each other every day in Rittenhouse Square and Huntsman Hall, be confident that when you leap, we will wait at the bottom to catch you. We will jump beside you so you will not be alone, and we will jump after you to provide the wind to push you forward. Know that the memories created here will forever be intricately interwoven into an ever-present safety net, giving us all the assurance that we need to succumb to the power of vulnerability. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Tola. It is my great pleasure to announce the Palmer Scholars for the class of 2016. These students consistently performed at the highest level with an academic performance that placed them in the top 5% of the class. Join me in congratulating these students on their outstanding achievement. I'd ask each of the scholars to rise and remain standing when I call their names. Mohammed Abdelghani. I should probably ask you to withhold your applause. There are 43 of these names, so. But congratulations, Mohammed. Tharang Agarwal. Neil Asur. Sudipta Banjopati. Jordan Bennett. Michael Berland. Tyler Brewster. Jonathan Casper, Udaybir Chopra, James Coonan, Jay Dash, Ryan Dawson, Michaela DeSantis, Paul Diomampa, Raymond Faraba, Johannes Ferreira, Dhruv Goel, Yen Go, Allison Greenberg, Lucas Hussey, Abhirup Jayanthi, Dimpi Jindal, Daniel Katz, Zachary Kreider, Thomas Lawless, Ibai Lee, Peter Mann, Bhavya Nag, Paul Amrang, Andres Panza, Tyler Parker, Rob Petroforti, David Platt, Kiran Pukot, Scott Rich, Nikhil Seshan, Jonathan Sokol, Laura Tao, Neil Vangala, William Wachter, Jasper Wang, Patrick Ward, and Charles Widmer. Congratulations to our Palmer Scholars. Each year, academic departments in the second year class recognize students who they feel have gone beyond the call of duty during their 2 years at Wharton. I call your attention now to the screens above as we honor the recipients from the class of 2016. They'll be projected behind me. our student award winners rise, please, so that we can recognize you for your accomplishments. Join me in congratulating the class of 2016 student award winners. Dear class of 2016, the time has come for you to be recognized as graduates of the oldest and best business school in the world.
Starting with Cluster 1, President Kalpi Desai. AJ Jangalapalli. Jonathan Derek Sokol. Mohammed Abdalghani. Jennifer Weil Adsman. Geoffrey Ayelo. Nitish Aitaranju. Jean Okonosh. Mohammed Adel Al-Ali. Neil Asur. Emily Che Balmert. Kelsey Bendine. Greta Marian de Hoyos Carlson. Daphne Chen. Ye Chen. Shanxi Teresa Chiao. Benjamin Scott Serlin. Emily Bliss Clayton. Teddy Dale. J Dash. Good. Camille Fabre. Mark Fun. Camille Fabre. Mark Fun. Ray Faraba. Michael Brian Friedman. Jonathan Gitis. Pratika Goyal. Mary Huang Brannigan. Denis Samsala Imunji. Edgar Iskandar. Ivan Kutsarov. Peter Lee. Ibai Lee. Patricia Ann Rodriguez Ligon. Michael Lim. Jessica Kate London. Joshua Maggot. Alvaro Montalvan. Eric Mulata. Enrique Noronha. Okniechi Tracy Odowazi. Rob Petroforti. Rohan Vignesh Prasad. Sarmed Rashid. Ankur Rati. Chet Daniel Rawlings. Jennifer Redmond. Denon Therese Wren. Christopher Adam Rodriguez. Felida Rosa Rodriguez. Christopher David Rogers. Griffin Rotman. Manuel Saenz. Sheer Saruf. Scott Edward Schultz. Purvi Srivastav. Victoria Silver. Althea Dewing Finch Simons. Prabjot Sodi. Donna Wheeling. Megan Terrafort. Carlos Urrutia. Ziv Eric Wangenheim. Michael Weldon Weekly. Eva Way. Ariel Weiser. Stefan Wiakowski. Yuqing Shu. Pooja Yabanavar. Hunjae Yu. Maxwell Pomeroy Young. Donald Xiao Zhang. Agnieszka Anna Silenska. Continuing with cohort B, starting Arya Florent. Neil Agarwal. Jennifer Allen. Gordon Odong. Gerardo Landa. Joao Suarez. Hakam Batur. George Berman. Jessica Lynn Beischer. Jolene Bressler. Lei Cao. Jonathan Casper. Supriya Rani Chala. Tri Chen. He Charlie Chen. Unique Shumutare. Erdabir Singh Chopra. Geoffrey Clem. Andrew Collins. Mary Elizabeth Chambers Crane. Peter Dushku. Jaime Fernandez Gallano. Erica Gotu. Akash Gupta. Taimur Hassan. Diego Hernandez Diaz. Anna Fox Holstein. Ying Hu. Christine Ann Jamieson. Jessica April Zhao. Dimpy Jindal. Alfonso Jones. Opal Arun Joshi. John Kaur. Chase Richard Lancaster. Shi Lian. Joao Lima Neto. Pietro Lomazzi. Ted Louis. Tyler Magura. Puneet Kumar Maheshwari. Manuel Maldonado. Sarah Chapman Millar. Jordan Peralta Mock. Susan Elizabeth Morgan. Noelle Caitlin Musco. Mohammed Abdul Fattah Nazir. Crystal Nokori. Matthew Cyrus Astrup. Venkatraman Prabhu. Isabel Marie Ramberg. Shreya Sengupta. Robert William Serik. Nikhil Harish Shashan. Sheyako Seto. Enrique Seton. Brian Longwei Shin. Rohan Singh. Akhil Sopti. Catherine Sollenberger. Sarah Christine Squire. Nathan Vincent Stadinger. Kathleen Kylene Sun. Anna Strom Thompson. Andre Dovaria Tikian. Julian Vogel. Shalina Watwani. Shani Wagenheim. Ashley Elizabeth Wells. Hassan Wilson. Andrew Anthony Wahini. And Harrison Shui. Continuing with Cohort C, starting Bo Clayton. Robert Egan Terrell Atkinson. Shuyang Bei. Jue Jenny Chao Wu. Gregory Ryan Kaplan. Christine Noel Chen. Indra Chandru. Shuei Chen. Melissa Chu. Sean David Clifford. Andrew David Craig. Catherine Ann Shapil. Stephanie Dubb. Krishna Jitendra Diva. Muridul Ganesh. Yenmi Go. Noah Goodman. Meredith Hassett. Ranyi Hui. Robert Hahn Huberty. William Everett Hunter. Merrick Heel. Stephen Louis Jacobo. Daniel M. Ingram. Danny Jumblatt. Gil Kaminsky. Daniel Edward Cutts. Kevin Kiefer. Anna G. Arayoje Kremens. Justin Cook. Alison Leibovitz. Jason Adam Lewis. Lucia Yuen Lee. Yu Chen Lee. Joanna Lin. Huitong Leo. Alejandro Luciano del Valle. Peter Madison Mahn. Christopher Mara Martin. Colin Matacek. Lauren Moffat. Abigail Morton. Brandon Keith Muret. Amrita Nag. Bryson James Nelson. Sungyup Oh. Benjamin Okon. Yuichiro Okutsu. Albert Rodriguez Franul. Ryan David Vermer. Dior Saliev. Drew Shackleton. Owen Sheehy. Sarah Eldon Schenk. Erica Shim. Neil Harish Shermanker. Michael Stupler. Vray Vahan Tajirian. Robert Francis Veiling. Rohan Vermer. Xiayan Wan. Charles Brooks Widmer. Andrew Neil Wilkinson. Michael Adam Windle. Karen Wong. Kelly Yan. Anad Yagna Rahman. Janet Yen. Nicole Adrienne Yoon. And Baby Bizo. Josh Bincheng Zo.
The co-presidents of Cluster 2 are Zach Kahn and Laura Minskoff. Cohort D, the marshal is John Mahoney. Tommy Akin Olubade. Vikram Arumale. Griffin Barstas. Daniel Buscella. Kalina Bruckner Saab. Erica Chow. Tina Ju Chang. Christopher Dahan. Elizabeth Del Valle Galino. Anastasia Dorazio. Nicholas Edquist. Faisal Falaknas. Alden Gordon. Danielle Graham. Xiao Yue Ha. Julia Velasco. Meng Shi Hu. Nam Wang Win. Hichian Im. Kenneth Johnson. Cameron Jones. Maria Joes. Alexander Kadish. Seungmu Kang. Pujan Kasaju. Tina Kearns. Joseph Kenal. Catherine Kilborn. Drew Kirchhoffer. Anuj Kulkarni. Ikshitha Kumar. Candice Lee. Young Lee. Ryan Limore. Kenneth Listwalk. Shauna Xiaoxi Liu. Tiffany Luck. Sarah Lynch. Geoffrey Macklin. Miriam Malik. Akshay Mandan. Michael Moden. James Moore. Bindu Nagu Bandi. Kyle Nelson. Christopher Newman. Paul Amrang. Mayer Panosian. Jameson Pereira. David Platt. Brian Rakuda. Eric Rosenblum. Evan Schledow. Sebastian Seehusen. Carlo Serafini. Nina Shingai. Aaron Shoemaker and friend. Jasdeep Singh. Vikram Singh. Vitaly Savetsky. Emily Stern. Tanya Stein. Catherine Terrell. Emily Thompson. Chi Sunny Shi. Heather Yan. Robin Young. Ongun Yavrusu. Shike Yu. Iulia Zanoshi. And Bianca Ziccarelli. Cohort E. And the marshal is Sydney Laperollery. Farron Altschuler. Yvette Ayala. Ramsey Baker. Megha Boyla. George Bratt Jr., Catherine Canning, Samir Chaibi, Tanoya Chatterjee, R. John Costa II, Dustin Darensbourg, Paul Diomampo, Fernando Nunez, Ghassan El Tayara, Angela Fan, Jessica Felix, Shenchi Casey Gi, Eric Gia, Marissa Gilman, Mashe Goblieski, Mateo Gio, Imran Halani, Lila Holtzman, Frank Jackson, Nupur Joshi, William Youngman, Gurpreet Kaur, Fernando Corrida, William Kropp, Justine Lai, Casey Langwith, Charles Lawson, Crystal Lee, Evan Levine, Sandra Levy, Anton Lysenko, Eric Macias, Misha Metalia, Luke McCarthy, Lali Navarro, David McHale, Kohei Nakazoto, Gregory Nemeth, Christy Nguyen, Matthew Nix, Vincent On, Kristen Paris, Michael Perellis, Tyler Parker, Catherine Powell, Patrick Purdie III, Dorothy Reynes, Julio Ramirez, Tanateti Ratana Ruan Giot, Rachel Reardon, Edisa Rodriguez, Christopher Stranix, Robert Struck II, Kanid Suviwatanache, Adil Syed, Yasmin Taylor, James Thorman, Ening Tsai, Audrey White, Yuan Yang, Hannah Yudkin, and Paul Zarian. Cohort F. And the marshal is James Chacos. Nefertari Adams. Alexandra Atia. Neil Bansal. Perry Bass II. Luke Bateman. Catherine Bigot. Dania Banak. Joseph Butcher. Anthony Campos. Jordan Carter. Lauren Castillo. Hitain Chola. Brian Clapp. Zhuang Thando. Gregory Dubin. Andrew Eder. Alex Sato. Thomas Fagan. Ushini Gokhale. Elizabeth Golden. David Golkin. Haley Goodman. Colby Hastings. Christopher Heather. James Hopkins. Emma Huntington. Alina Ispas. Michael Kay. Rishav Kohli. Vijay Kukreja. Vinay Kulkarni. Ian Kwok. James Balache Lata. Kwok Ting Lee. Herbert Lemons. Castle Lessinger. Yi Liao. Zax Lubin. Victoria Ma. Elizabeth Megan. Daniel McCauley. Paola Mejia. Supriya Menon. Monica Myers. Kwang Sung Na. Bhavya Nag. Peiying Neo. Peter Nwaneri. Maria Ong. Michael Pasquarello. Benjamin Pesco. Jet Puckett. Swathi Rao. Elizabeth Riley. Andrew Schrum. Jinwei Shi. Stephen Sunmonu. Yunshu Shin. Kirill Timofeyev. Roman Chup. Alex Verdun. Michael Weigley. Vivian Wu. Cho Yu Yu. Yale Zeller. Donye Zhang. Yinan Zhang. Diana Zhou. And Laura Zhu.
That is Cluster 3, leading off, Sarah Kim Benz, Anne-Marie Punky Shun, Cohort G, Daniel Metzger-Traber, Mark Andrew Adumanis, Richard Warwick Berger, Richard Baum, Jason Scott Braffman, Ellison Shuin Chan, Lily Chiang, Brent Nathaniel Cohen, Eric De Jong, Mufaro Dube, Atim Olamide Duke, Rhonda L. Borolossi, Catherine Willis Fackler, Stephanie Ann Farba, Sarah Elizabeth Feltner, Yifan Gao, Andrew Robert Giacomi, Leah Germer, Daniel Alexander Gordon, Laura Michelle Gordon, Jessica Morgan Grody, Sophia Sherbin Gutoff, William Shavir Harvey, William Stratford Hilton, Lucas Kilpatrick Hussey, Karen Ashley Johnson, Alexis Yushkis, David Victor Keller, Sabina Kana, Ivy KG Maggie, Genua Liu, Lester Jinkern Loy, John Ryan McIntyre, Lana Magloff, Varun Maitel, Amanda Pogalatis McCarthy, Priyanka Mirotra, Peter Andrew Murrer, Alvar Nelson Ortiz, Michael Parent, Yunken Park, Victor Parsinechikov, Armando Travis Peña, Lucy Peng, Herman Ruben Posoda, Michael Raronich, Rishi Nath Reddy, Andres Rojas Ruiz, Sindura Sarikonda, Christoph Schum, Sidar Shah, Joanna Sidarov, Grant Sim, Jessica G1 Sun, Vinny Sood, Vinny Sood. Samantha Steinberg Engelhardt. James Cody Todori. Divya Thomas. Varun Odeshi. Neil Vangala. Jamie Wenwei. Nitesh Yaduf. Hao Yang. Yonmu Yang. Amy Yi. Chiling Ye. Samuel Yi. And Lucy Zhang. Chenlin Zhu. Jimmy Yeju. Bernard Peter Zipprich. And Jason Zuniga. Cohort H. First in line is Priya Chopnerkar Boyington. Megat Al Sunait. Ashley Emmanuel Archibald. Michael Andrew Berland. Christopher Paul Bernard. Louis Todd Blitzman. Sergei Boyev. Emily Chow. John Cheng. Cici Monica Chen. Jeannie Chen. Kimberly Koza. Mary Patton Stewart Davis. Alexander Sasha Dropolidiopov. Sejal Doshi. Magda Drobnicki. Eduardo Martin. Aaron Thomas Fisher. Sean K. Freitark. Robert Lawrence Fried. Jenner Gable. Naveed Garavri. Shui Guang. Robert Hamill. Stephanie Huang. Deepa Iyer. Abhiroop Jayanti. Suyon Ki. Eugene Kim. Agnieszka Kostrobiec. Claire Le Carpentier. Fanghui Li. Maria Alexander Lerner. Chusita Luang Prasert. Nicola Lubet. Daniel Lutmir. Rong Luo. Claudia Munrik. Harshad Manohar Maral. Roy Varghese Matthew. Daniel Minerva Milum. Andrew James Mitchell. Emily Mutayet, Lucas Motro, Kunal Mokdil, Aditya Nair, Kelechi Okaruke, Christopher Mott Owen, Andreas Panzu, Kyung-woo Park, Rebecca Marie Pearson, Zachary Joseph Queen, Allison Marissa Randolph, Philippa Rock, Christopher George Rosser, Candle Elizabeth Rugg, Guillaume Saint, Ricardo Salinas, Andreas Agapitos Shepard, Gregory C. Nick Paul Singh, John William Spivey, Sishan Teking, Jay Zokbata, Nishant Verma, Lily Fogel, Kelvin James White, Sunyong Yoon, Cohort I, starting with Stephanie Laura Blount, Adedayo Adari Bigby, Thomas Michael Arnest, Shweta Arya, Sudipta Banyopadai, Jordan Mason Bennett, Jamie Elizabeth Burke, Catherine Hale Blankenship, Marlene Botex, Christopher John Byrne, Scott Nicholas Casal, Nina Cheng, Chung Chuan, Shadi Dirag, Brian Duffy, Francisco Fene Reus, Johannes Ferreira, Evan Joseph Glickman, Drew Grill, John Guo, Catherine Jingche Han, Jonathan Stephen Kelman, Mijin Kim, Nicole Kim, Anastasia Kopseva, Bramjot Singh Kohuli, Pauline Nokingsfeld, Adrian Koss, Mark Kozlowski, Mitchell John Krautkramer, Cheng Yang Mike Lee, Jonathan Lerner, Ron Lee, Chuejing Lee, Kunal Mahajan, Vidur Mahajan, Michael Manuccia, Nicholas John McGrath, Kunal Nayar, Yuri Luis Nurko, Philippe Mata, Amalia Paliobase, Tael Park, Umi Patel, Christian Alex Peña, Tiffany Marie Petrosino, Kiran Pukoti, Shilpa Rao, Chet Allen Redding, David Brian Sardi, Ziad Sarkis, Deepa Shah, Aeon Singh, Mani Singh, Stuart Sweeney, Inanapa Tantanavevat, Shuen Teng, Min Tai, Andrew Arthur Tiffin, Christina Uribe, Andrea Velez Cortez, Robert Westphal Vera, Juan Vicente, Stephen George Wiener, Courtney Windler, Shirley Wynn, Ellen Young, Shuk Man, Jijun Zhowu, Jijun Zhou, and Elizabeth Sicardi.
Cluster 4. The co-presidents of Cluster 4 are Rita Chang and Saul Gorman. Cohort J. The marshal for Cohort J is Jonathan Shintaku. Anita Ambarajan. Peter Belial. Agustina Belsola. Rachel Burke. Rini Bhatt. Timothy Bourassa. Colin Brown. Gregory Keola. Dana Carvalho. Stephen Chella. Stephanie Chang. Wei Rong Chang. Suma Dash. Zachary Dauber. Ksuriya Demchenko. Anna Dowd. Amir Farahani. Alexander Farkas. Stephen Feiss. Ahmed Fikri. Maciej Flekovic. Javier Serda. Bharath Ganesan. Yun Gao. Victoria Gaunt. Elizabeth Gilson. Todd Glass. Jonathan Grattan. Erica Hall. Sarah Johns. Jem Konsu. Kiki Kapoor. Arnaud Lamotte. Thomas Lawless. Stephen Lay. Sarah Leggett. Jason Lee. Jonathan Magdovitz. Ryan McMorrow. Jonathan Miller. Arjan Nath. Rizvan Navid. Eamon Nolan. Shalewa Odusanya. Andra Avasiu. Tara O'Neill. Pratik Puri. Scott Rich. David Resnick. Adam Rubin. Budtree Runrut Janaluk. Emil Salem Jr. Janewit Cereburi. Pamela Singh. David Spector. Laura Tao. Brett Tenenhouse. Allison Thomas. Michelle Trone. Geoffrey Uba. Bobby Vierdi. Thomas Vladek. Sun Kanok Vu. Jasper Wang. Joshua Warren. Angela Shu. Jiang Yi. Jessica Yen. Juju Zhang. And Wilson Zhao. Cohort K. The marshal for Cohort K is Brian Vo. William Alexis. Joseph Anderfull. Chakra Banerjee. Jonathan Beck. Gordon Barfield. Nicholas Bartz. Saurav Bar. Michael Beeman. Pavlo Borovic. Andra Bratu. Tyler Brewster. Karina Saravia. Vikram Chandrasekhar. Andrew Checketts. Claire Chen. Ron Chen. Ryan Dawson. Sofia Diaz. Leah Edgevertinia. Pauline Feria. Stephen Finn. Chelsea Freehofer. Roderick Friend. Luis Lozano. Benjamin Pifo. Allison Greenberg. Hunter Greenhall. Lindsay Gray. Carrie Himmelrich. Chen Cheng Hung. Cheyenne Ilbagian. William Im. Katarzyna Yanchura. Satomi Kawashima. Marina Kriatsulas. Zachary Kreider. Divya Krishnan. Vishal Kumar. Christopher Letty. J.B. Merrick. James Martineau. Michael McCarthy. Emily McGrath. Paul Moulton. Eva Nixon. Yuji Ogawa. Adam Parchu. Cameron Peak. Julia Peter Longo. Monica Q. Matthew Reed. Margaret Wren. Alex Rosen. Caitlin Ryan. Vinay Shah. Japji Shapuri. Mark Shore. Luke Smith. Drew Solaski. Tola Sunmonu. Laszlo Syrup. William Wachter. Bin Wang. Patrick Ward. Sopicha Watana Sansani. Karen Wei. Carmen Wang. Xiaolu Xu. Jisoo Yu. Brandon Yoshimura. And Xiaoxi Zhang. Cohort L. The marshal for Cohort L is Jamie Whaley. Tharang Agarwal. Alexandra Brenya. Neil Burrow. Spencer Cahill. Maura Cassidy. Marcelo Catani. Joyce Chiai. Roger Chen. James Coonan. Michaela DeSantis. Molly Dintz. Freddie Nguela. Jennifer Engel. Stefan Esama. Brian Finney. Alan Gordon. Anna Guimaras. Justine Habkirk. Wilbert Habose. Lisbeth Hernandez. Alan Holden. Daniel Hundert. Ryuji Ioe. Rashi Jain. Anissa Kanun. Amrit Krishnakumar. Vignesh Kumar. Jonathan Lafer. Sautri Laprapasorn. Natasha Latif. Sue Lee. Tina Lee. Geoffrey Liu. Patrick Madden. Sean Mahoney. Christopher Mayerfeld. Malcolm Milburn III. Juan Morgatio. Sarah Nash. Samir Painse. Albert Purdy. Timothy Racine. Eric Wren. Yoon Rowe. Valentina Ryabova. Kendra Sandage. Stephen Santoro. Jennifer Schult. Jeremy Semble. Stacy Sheldon. Carol Shen. Meredith Moscone. Ron Singh. Alfredo Garcia. Harshi Thodima. Michael Thorson. Jessica Trieber. Joseph Velanikaran. Martin Walsh. Wei Wei. Victor Wells. Andre Vishnia Wiewecki. Yan Yan. Christina Yang. Ramon Zepeda. Jiao Jing. Lingyun Zhang. Ji-Chun Zhou. Thank you.
Congratulations. Class of 2017, that toss in the air was well deserved. My name is Lizanne Rohde. I'm the Executive Director of Alumni Relations, and today you are officially Wharton alumni. To celebrate your new status, for those of you that still have your caps, please move your tassels to the right. Welcome to the Alumni Network. You are now members of a robust, diverse, and global community of 94,000 strong in 153 countries. Please take your Wharton pride into your lifelong relationships with your classmates, future students, current students, and the Alumni Network. We are here for you. Wharton's pledge to you is to support you through a range of resources on campus, online, and in regions across the globe where you will go to live and work through Wharton Lifelong Learning, through Wharton Clubs Network, through on-campus reunions, as well as our global forums that bring leaders in business, academia, and government along with Wharton alumni. The Wharton community is literally everywhere. Please don't wait for reunion to stay connected and continue your involvement with us. Your ongoing engagement with Wharton has already begun through your participation in your class gift. When you contributed to the class gift, you also signed a pledge. This pledge is your first step toward becoming proud Wharton alumni, dedicated to the school, its future students, and your fellow alumni. Your year was particularly exciting with the establishment of the Alumni Fellows Program. 22 of you have committed to serving as leaders of your class in growing the culture of philanthropy and engagement with Wharton as Alumni Fellows. We thank each of you for your hard work and your support of your class gift. Wharton thrives because of your generous support and the generous support of those alumni that preceded you and made your experience possible. Your class gift will help those that follow you, and they will also learn from your example. You have achieved incredible success, and we thank you. With the support from the challenge donor of Jessica Hoffman Brennan, Wharton MBA 2001, your class raised $45,254.03. I'd like to invite your gift chairs to come to the stage. Daniel Ingram and Neil Schreemanker. Daniel and Neil, and the involvement and support of the 22 fellows, we thank you for your dedication to Wharton. The fantastic success of your class gift reflects your energy, your enthusiasm, and your trust in Wharton. I'm now delighted to share with you a very important Wharton tradition, the passing of the flag. Each year, one member of the Wharton alumni community is invited to participate in graduation by carrying the flag that signifies alumni status to pass to a member of the graduating class. This year, we're thrilled to have invited Bonnie Bandine as today's alumni marshal. Now, with the mountain of flowers in front of her chair, some of you may think she's a favorite faculty member, but that's not true. Bonnie is a member of the Wharton MBA class of 1985 and the College of Arts and Sciences 1980, as well as a member of Penn's Board of Trustees and a member of the Wharton Executive Board for Europe, Middle East, and Africa, and the proud parent of 2 graduates this weekend. Bonnie will pass the 2016 alumni flag to Zachary Kahn, linking the Wharton alumni of yesterday to those of today. To the class of 2016 and your families, congratulations.
All right, the last speech. One of the greatest gifts that Wharton has given you was the chance to live with, learn from, and form lasting ties with more than 800 of the most interesting people in the world. You've been immersed in a talented pool of classmates from 62 different countries with diverse worldviews, races, ages, gender identities, and professional backgrounds spanning the military, law, education, government, medicine, not-for-profits, and the arts, as well as the private sector. There were a few of private sector people in the class as well, and there'll be many more. During the past 2 years, you have shared conversations, intellectual debates, meals, travels, athletic competition, laughter, and maybe even a few tears with students who are very different from you. You also may have learned firsthand how challenging it can be to build relationships with people who are not like you, and some of you have struggled to work through these differences. I hope that you found Wharton to be supportive through these challenging situations, and that ultimately this was an experience that helped expand your capacity for perspective-taking, tolerance, and empathy. As the next generation of leaders, you will be well served by this expanded cross-cultural knowledge and interpersonal understanding. You are re-entering the business world at a time when the challenges of moving an enterprise forward amidst unpredictable global events have never been greater. For your professional and personal success, and for the betterment of our world, I hope that you will use your Wharton experience to promote open-minded and candid conversations and greater understanding in every sphere of your life. To paraphrase Benjamin Franklin, the founder of the University of Pennsylvania, if you are all wrapped up in yourself, you make a very small bundle. Looking out upon our Wharton graduates this afternoon, I feel confident in saying that I see no small bundles. Wharton MBA class of 2016, we applaud your outstanding achievements in and outside the classroom. My colleagues in the MBA program, Stefan Diekmann, Mary Ellen Riley Lamb, Kembrell Jones, Jeff Klein, Lisa Warshaw, Paula Greenberg, Sue Kaufman-DePoit, and their team members, join me in wishing you our very best. Wharton is proud to call you our newest alumni. Congratulations and thank you.